Trish Toby with WARC reporting to you live from Westchester, New York, where there appears to be some sort of mutant menace on the loose.
That's smooth.
Hey, everybody, I'm Matt Ockamp.
And I'm Pat Reber.
And I'm sweet little Abby Denton.
And say it with us, Pete.
Welcome.
We are the Mutant
Menace.
I remembered that wrong and you corrected me, and I remembered it wrong again. I'm sorry.
You nailed it.
We
all nailed it.
Once you started, though.
In fact, if anybody was wrong, I think it was Pete. Hey, everybody. We have with us an incredible guest today.
Yes.
She is a comedian, a comic book writer, a former pro wrestler, and the writer of Gamer Mom. It's Abby Denton.
Hello. Thank you so much. Abby. Thank you so much for having me here.
Welcome, Abby.
I've been a big fan of you both for many years, and I consider this to be the culmination of months and months of negging Pat into letting me on.
You've been following us all the way through the very worst years, you're saying?
Oh, well, when you were at your lowest points, and there were only one set of footprints on the sand, you would have seen a bunch of cigarette butts piled on a bench while I was laughing at you, having a good time. Pat, just before this recording, took out a vape and then clarified to me that it was nicotine and not weed, just to make sure that I knew he was cool.
Well, just so you know, I'm going to hit this thing a handful of times, and I don't want you to think I'm being unprofessional.
Pat, I would rather you were doing weed. You're killing yourself. I assume. I know nothing about vaping. Are you gonna die, Pat? My mom always said
for 20
smoking
years
will kill you.
By all medical standards except in the U.S., this is a healthy alternative to cigarettes.
All medical standards except in the U.S. Abby, I want you to tell me about Gamer Mom, but before that, I wanted you to tell me about. Can you tell me about being a former pro wrestler?
Well, when we say pro, I think we lost money on the whole endeavor. But the government of the state of Pennsylvania shut down a wrestling concern that I was involved with, the Magical Girl Wrestling Federation. It's a sad story. See, it turns out that as opposed to Kaiju Big Battle, who we'd sort of modeled ourselves after, and they weren't classified as an athletic event by the state of New York, I believe. I got to talk to the gentleman who played Loud and Noxious, their commentator. He's a comic. Okay. And that's just his stage name too, like Loud and Noxious. What a stage name. I think I don't know. Oh my gosh, I don't know if that's even okay. I've outed a fake wrestling commentator.
Oh no.
We can beep it.
Very nice guy. We lived in the same neighborhood for a while.
You're still doxing him.
Yeah, now it's getting worse, Abby.
It was in Koreatown in Los Angeles. No, I'm sure he's moved. I'm sure he's moved. I haven't seen him since COVID. Oh my gosh, I don't even know if he's alive. Well, he lives in heaven now.
The ultimate doxing.
The ultimate doxing. But the New York and the Pennsylvania athletic commissions have very different policies of what counts as an athletic event. And even though, like, our commentator was an alligator puppet, and I believe there was time travel involved. Granted, Chikara does time travel jokes and they're actual wrestling. But we were just a bunch of theater nerds in the state of Pennsylvania. It was like, you owe us $70,000 or close down. And we chose to close down like the cowards we are.
Wow.
Matt,
well, yes.
And not to be a hater in any way, but you and I are not fans, actively not fans of professional wrestling.
Oh, God, I thought you were about to just be incredibly cruel to our guest.
No, we hate you, Abby.
What?
We looked up everything we could find. No, it's
No, yeah.
the reason I say that is because do you think if we switched this to just a podcast about the minutia of professional wrestling law state by
Ooh.
state, we would
Oh,
lose any followers?
I kind of think that the wrestling bubble is in the process of breaking.
Yeah.
I have no data for this, but I feel like wrestling is on lock. I feel like you might as well do a podcast about, comic books. Like the field's been
Get
tilled.
the
my
bubble
friend.
that never bursts.
It's I think it's safe to say if anything is popular at any given point, its bubble is on the verge of bursting. People have very short attention spans.
Well, yeah, I mean, I feel like the main thing that will always be popular, but there's not enough podcasts about, with very good reason, furry pornography.
Furry pornography.
Furry pornography, yeah, there'll never be. There's probably a couple.
I would have assumed that there was a bunch of. I mean, I don't know of any, but I would have assumed there's a bunch of podcasts about furry pornography. Abby, I'd like to know about Gamer Mom.
Yeah.
Gamer Mom, though. Why Gamer Mom is a comic book that I kickstarted earlier this year that's almost done and lettered and ready for everyone to read. It's about basically what if Yu-Gi-Oh! From the cartoon Yu-Gi-Oh! Hit middle age and had a couple of kids and discovered that being really good at card games doesn't actually earn you any kind of respect or admiration from your children, who are sort of aware that that's a preposterous way to live your life. And it's basically a comic about a woman who has no value to humanity whatsoever, entering into the most intense grudge match with the head of the school board, who wants to ban all gaming. The gaming has been banned, and it's up to Gamer Mom to free the youth of the school.
Like a sports commissioner in Pennsylvania,
Yes.
faced with a wrestling league. Yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, some keen analysis from that.
I'm very, very pleased. I don't even know if it counts as a joke, but I think my favorite aspect of the story is that all of her heroic choices are on behalf of her daughter's friend, because her daughter is a dick. But she really likes this one girl that her daughter doesn't even hang out with anymore. But she's like, I'd take a bullet for this kid.
Well, that sounds amazing. Where can people go? Well, we'll put a link in the show notes, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Well, we kickstarted it a couple of months ago. If you Google Gamer Mom Kickstarter, you'll find it there. We put out 10 pages for free then, and the other 20 pages have been sort of a little delayed in being finished, but they will be available digitally. I don't know what Javi's plan. Javi Martin Caba is the artist I've been working with. Very talented man.
Okay.
I don't know where he'll be putting it, because we both sort of have shared access to it. But I will also be putting it on abbydenton.itch.io or abbydenton.com. You can find it there whenever it's done. And you can read the preview on either of those URLs either.
That's amazing.
What a nice plug. Thank you so much for listening.
Outstanding. Yeah.
I'm very proud of it.
that.
I think Javi's done some amazing art, and I think it's some of the funniest stuff I've ever written. And we're
30
firing on all
pages.
cylinders. 32, I think. Yes.
It looks
32.
incredible.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh.
Whoa.
Oh,
Oh, goodness.
that
What is that, Pat?
means we got to stop this puffy faffin and get to Pat's email corner.
Ooh.
Sorry you considered our guests.
How dare you
work
call me
puffy
Hassan
faffing.
Pfeffer? How dare you call me Hassan Pfeffer?
We depend on our sound guy to put in these music cues because we try to derail ourselves as much as anyone tries to derail us. But let's get to it. We have 2 emails today. Number 1 is from frequent flyer email Michael. It says, "Hey Pat, tell Matt that I couldn't hear any lozenges in his mouth, even with my nice noise canceling earbuds. I encourage him to try using more and larger lozenges in the future so that we can hear them better. I assume that's his goal."
I did a lot of cutting out lozenge noises from the last episode. Yeah.
He goes on, he says, you discussed the deadliness of downdrafts in this episode, so it raises the obvious question, could Wolverine defeat a downdraft? like if it was Wolverine versus a downdraft in a one-on-one fight, who would win?
Okay, well, that's Wolverine versus a force of nature, but this is a particularly, as we've learned through Chris Claremont's writing, this is a particularly powerful force of nature, the downdraft. Well,
Yeah.
we learned in this issue coming up, not to spoil, but I'm going to spoil. We learned that Wolverine's claws can interrupt psychic connections.
That's
The energy
right.
beams. Yeah.
So I don't know why they couldn't interrupt wind.
He's also, at this point, he's only briefly mentioned that he has any sort of healing power, but a downdraft does not.
That's true.
So if he got enough stabs in on that downdraft, it's turning updraft real fast.
Abby, what forces of nature do you think could kick Wolverine's ass?
Well, now this is one of those Superman Goku questions because even in this episode, he needs the help of Storm to summon wind to help him sever the psychic energy connection. So I think him and Weather get along too well to fight.
Ooh, he would bond with the downdraft.
Yeah, I think they might have a child.
Team up.
It's hard to not make friends with a downdraft. I don't think humans and downdrafts should make love.
Before we start saying things that'll get us all in trouble. Email Michael finishes here acknowledging that I did ask for a no prize for catching the Monroe spelling error, and he agrees. He says spotting typos in comic books from over 40 years ago does deserve no prize.
Okay, you got
Constantly afraid of downdrafts, email Michael.
Mostly in these comics, though, downdrafts save people, so... No, updrafts save people. That's right. I was thinking of updrafts this whole time. I've changed everything I said.
Having read Animorphs as a child, I call them thermals. I know that makes me sound like a maniac, but that's what the talking bird twink in Animorphs calls them.
Abby, you should start an Animorphs podcast where you just recap chapters of Animorphs each week.
Actually, my main podcast I've always wanted to do is reviewing specific episodes of other podcasts, like the same way, like going through, we summarize the episode of We Hate Movies or whatever, where they're talking about Pippi Longstocking.
Okay, we have one more email to get to, and it's a good one.
Oh, did you just say, are you implying that Michael's email was not a good one?
No. It was fine. This one is...
Email Michael, write in and let us know what you think.
You'll see why I'm so excited about this one. This comes from Ambitious Eric. The subject line says, "You've missed me." Did we talk about this on the podcast, or did we just talk about it after recording that we missed Ambitious Eric?
I hope it was on the podcast, or Ambitious Eric can hear us.
Either way, you're absolutely right, Ambitious Eric. He says, "Hey, Pat, tell Matt to stop puffy faffing around."
Okay.
He's right. You are both undoubtedly wondering where Ambitious Eric has been these last few weeks. I haven't even yet enjoyed your amazing Discord shared with the effervescent Save Your Game podcast, which introduced me to Mutant Menace in the first place. In truth, I resolved not to email you until I had finished my masterpiece of pixel art, Nightcrawler making out with Colossus, attached.
Oh my goodness.
I had to Google what color their tongues are. That's a lot of effort for 4 pixels, but they are 4 comics accurate pixels, and we can all agree that is of tantamount of importance. This is great. This is something we asked for, Abby, just to...
I'm very sorry to hear that.
There was a scene that they came very close to kissing, and we said if anybody wanted to draw it, that we would talk about it. We would put it up on our Instagram, I believe.
Okay, yeah, there we go. We have Nightcrawler and Colossus kissing, and I guess Colossus has a gray tongue.
Yeah, which makes sense.
I'm having trouble picturing Nightcrawler and Colossus making out, but I am having a grand old time picturing Kitty Pryde sort of sitting over her notebook drawing that and dreamily sighing.
Listeners, you actually will be able to see this
That's
undoubtedly
good.
on our Instagram at this point because it's too good not to share.
That's good.
Yeah. This is really, thank you, Ambitious Eric. He has a few other things to say. He says, I want to thank you for your coverage of the Dark Phoenix saga. I've only ever seen its interpretations, and I honestly didn't realize how good the original story was. He says, I still think Jean Grey is boring. I didn't know you thought that in the first place, but maybe you'll turn me around on that someday too.
How? She's dead.
He's very excited to hear that we are going to cover Ecstatics someday in the probably far future. And he also mentioned that he has looked for Jump Shooper. He's been trying to find out more info on this Jump Shooper that he doesn't seem to be turning anything up.
He was the editor-in-chief of Marvel Comics for like over a decade. You should be able to find Jump Shoopers.
It's a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Jimbo Jumper.
Deal. Well,
yeah, I mean, that's it.
Oh,
for Pat's Emo Corner. So
we just have to wait for the sound guy to wake the fuck up.
Yeah.
Oh,
nope, there he is.
Sorry. Didn't mean to.
Thank you, Elliot.
I think your Pie Annie's out of tune.
Elliot, get on that, please.
Okay, I gotta ask, Matt.
Me?
Have you done anything X-Men related this week?
Oh, boy. All right. What did I do? Well, we just recorded an episode like 3 days ago. So it's hard.
You know that doesn't count.
It's hard to... I'm saying. It's hard to say that I've done anything X-Men related in the meantime. Today was shoe shopping. Is that X-Men related? Can you find any way that could possibly be X-Men related?
I feel like with their freaky feet shapes, they probably have to do more shoe shopping than average.
Yeah. The thing about shoe shopping,
McCoy, in fact,
that fucks me up is that there are differences in different types of, like, it's like arch support or ultra wide or cushion, and some of these have meanings and some of them don't. And I can't tell when one does or one doesn't. Like, there's shoes that talk about their support, but that's different than saying it has arch support. And so if I need, like, I'm for once going to buy, like, shoes that are good for my feet. And I can't fucking figure out how to do it.
I hear you, Matt. I got, we've talked about this before, big old Hobbit feet.
Yeah.
So I need to special order my shoes.
How do you do it? How do you special order them?
I don't. Honestly, my wife buys me a new pair of shoes every Christmas, and it has changed my life.
Huh. Can your wife
get a wife?
Buy me? Okay, I'll try to get a wife. How about you, Pat? Have you done anything X-Men related this week?
You know what, Matt, Abby? I have. Since our last recording, tonight, in fact, I have made a great sacrifice, just like many in X-Man.
Okay.
We are recording during the Philadelphia Eagles Monday Night Football game
a sports
against the Green Bay Packers.
Okay.
And instead of watching that with sound on, I am watching it silently in a little corner window on my monitor here. So...
Wow, big sacrifice.
I want everyone to know.
What do you miss out on with the sound off?
The sound.
Like grunts?
Well,
like
I mean,
somebody
like,
going
yeah,
like,
is it the crack of the bat?
No, it keeps your attention. That's what keeps you tuned into the game, you know?
But why would you need that if...
Because I'm here talking to you.
Huh.
Well, now Los Angeles, Los Dodgers just won the World Series, and
yes,
I guess I'm not really clear on why they're still doing sports. I thought we figured out that Los Angeles was the best, and all others, you know, like
Yeah, is
You're
that
not
true, Pat?
real cities.
Okay, you guys are just trying to.
Like
Puffy
Philadelphia
faff.
is like a little town full of baby men who can't play baseball.
Yeah, is that
And
true, Pat?
and I don't think anyone would question my characterization of Philadelphia like that.
Is this true,
year?
Pat?
This year, yes, that is true.
Oh no.
But
Okay, well, I learned something today then, because I didn't know any of this.
Yeah, I always used to think that everyone in Philadelphia was very dignified and cool, but now that I know that, even from a Philadelphia, now that I know it actually is full of little baby men who should never be allowed on a sports field.
no,
Yeah,
none of
that's
the
what I
Philadelphia
heard Pat
Phillies
say.
are from here. First of all, and they all live in the suburbs anyway, except for a select few.
With all the
So,
cops, yeah.
Yeah. Abby, how about
Yeah?
you? Have you done anything X-Men related this week?
Well, I'm an insulin-dependent type 1 diabetic, and the government is trying to kill me. So I would say, in many
Yes.
ways, just getting out of bed is X-Men related. I think that in some cases, in comic books, which are separate from reality,
Mm-hmm.
but in comic books, I think there are a lot of situations where, like, for example, when Lex Luthor was the president of the United States, I
Mhm.
think that in comic books, in fiction, it is often you will find that assassinating politicians is a very heroic act, like the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. I suppose that's the opposite of an X-Men activity. That's more of an evil mutant activity. But
it's tangentially.
Yeah.
Abby, I think probably we could say that a lot of the X-Men, even though a lot of the X-Men don't try to assassinate senators, a lot of them probably wake up in the morning thinking about it.
Yeah, they probably,
Yeah.
I bet in the issue we didn't read where they saved the senator from the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, one of
Yeah.
them, I bet, says, I don't see why we should do this, pal, but I'm gonna save you anyway. And I guess that's probably where I sit. I don't really like thinking of people being hurt.
This is actually a great segue because, as we know, there are also some brothers of evil mutants. How would you define? What is one unit of Brotherhood of Evil Mutant?
Oh,
Ooh.
okay. There are brothers of evil mutants.
Brothers of Evil Mutanthood.
There is one brother of evil mutant named Mystique, and there's another Brotherhood of Evil Mutant named Rogue. Is what we're
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say there's one brother of Evil Mutanthood, at least, that we know will become an X-Man. So even if right now you're behaving like a member of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, it could very well be X-Men.
I don't think
It's almost
she
like good and evil are
is.
defined by power.
I don't think she is. I think many heroes could wake up thinking, I want to assassinate a senator. And what makes them heroes is that they consistently do not.
It's there in comic books, death solves a lot of problems.
I think that Jodie Foster would be very attracted to any superhero who assassinated an evil supervillain politician such as Lex Luthor.
So, Pat, why do you bring this up?
Because today,
Oh,
I think it's a good time to learn about one brother of evil mutanthood, or sister of evil mutanthood, who eventually goes on to join the X-Men. I don't think that's too heavy of a spoiler, right?
I don't know who you're talking about. Oh,
It's Rogue.
Rouge the Bat.
Yes, Rouge the Bat from Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yes.
Making her first appearance in the X-Men comics. No, we got Rogue here today. All right, which one of us wants to read to the other two Avengers Annual number 10?
I can kick us off here, Matt.
Please.
Heck
If
yes.
everybody's ready. This is an annual, so it's giant size for sure. Let's talk about Avengers Annual number 10
Okay.
by Friends Betrayed. Chris Claremont, writer and co-editor. Chris Claremont gets a co-editor credit on this, which I think means he just had final say, right?
Good for him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay.
Michael Golden, penciler, Armando Gill, inker, Joe Rosen, letterer, M. Golden, colorist, David Anthony Kraft, co-editor, and Jumpy Shoopy, editor-in-chief. Release date, August 4th, 1981. Cover date, October 1981. We open on a night scene as a woman falls from the Golden Gate Bridge. Luckily, the Dark Angel Spider-Woman is there to catch her just before her body hits the water.
Which, as we all know, if you're falling so far and so hard that an impact with the water would kill you, somebody yanking you up from that, somebody swooping underneath you and yanking you upwards probably is going to be helpful.
Yeah, that's what happened to Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, exactly.
Hours later, Spider-Woman is drinking coffee on the wall of the emergency room when her pal, Lieutenant Sabrina Morell, comes in to say she's identified the following woman as Major Carol Danvers, retired Air Force and missing for 6 months, and former magazine editor.
Apparently also a former magazine editor. There's a very weird scene here, by the way, where Sabrina Morell walks into the emergency room and there's a little girl walking out of the emergency room.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, what's up with that?
This little girl identifies herself as Maddie Pryor, which
She says, I've been sick, but I'm better now.
yeah. X-Men fans may know the name Maddie Pryor or Madeline Pryor. This little girl has absolutely zero connection to her.
Oh, Wikipedia has informed me that Maddie Pryor was also the name of the lead singer of Steel Eye Span.
That
which is presumably why Chris liked the name both times.
Yes, used the name 2 separate times. Yeah.
What?
But why did he do it? Why is this here? Why is there a little girl like getting a full... They had to pay her for that whole day because she had a speaking line.
So this is all very strange because the doctors read nearly no higher brain function in the woman Carol Danvers at all, as if her mind had never developed. Spider-Woman knows just who to call to get to the bottom of this. Professor Xavier of the X-Men.
I do know that guy.
Who is he?
I
What's
don't
his
know
deal?
that I would call him.
He's this old pervert who hangs out with a bunch of kids and bosses them around a lot.
Oh my gosh. We got to do something about this freak.
Yeah, it's not a healthy relationship.
He's a menace.
A hero. No, he's actually a hero for doing this. Who knew?
In Westchester, New York, the X-Men are still repairing the Danger Room with some difficulty when the call comes in. We actually get a lot of fill-in here for when the Danger Room got fixed because we never got to see that happen.
That's true. It's so funny, though, now that we've gotten to the end of the Danger Room has been destroyed arc, and now we're like jumping back a little bit, that they spent fucking months of the comic fixing this thing and constantly talking about fixing it and how destroyed it was. And then two issues after they finally fix it, the entire mansion gets destroyed.
Professor X rushes to San Francisco only to find that Carol's mind has been actively erased. Despite calling it a tabula rasa, he nevertheless says her personality and critical memories should be intact, and also finds a surface memory of who caused this whole thing, a woman named Rogue.
It seems like for a person whose mind he says has been completely erased and is a blank slate, he's finding a lot of shit in there.
Cut to Rogue beating the living hell out of Captain America. Dressed in a kind of green hooded tracksuit with an evil grin and closely cropped brown hair with streaks of white at the temples, Rogue stands over the fallen captain and monologues about her powers a bit. Apparently, when she touches someone's skin to skin, she absorbs both their powers and memories, though if she holds on too long, the transfer can become permanent. This is what happened with her and Ms. Marvel, whose powers and memories she used to find and beat the hell out of Cap. Nearby in the Avengers mansion, Vision, Jocasta, Beast, Hawkeye, Scarlet Witch, and Wonder Man are being served tea cakes by Jarvis, waiting for their weekly meeting to begin, when Captain America flies through the window.
I have a question, Pat. Why did you say Wonder Man that way?
Because Wonder Man died in, like, the first 5 issues of the Avengers.
Huh.
How is he here? How's he here, Matt?
I don't know. I'm not following the Avengers.
Over in Long Island at Stark Industries, Tony Stark is busy making armor or whatever when the Avengers call comes in asking Iron Man to bring Dr. Donald Blake to the mansion. As he's about to walk out the door, he runs into Janet Pym, aka the Wasp. As he tells her what's happened, she pulls a gizmo out of her back and places it on his back, incapacitating his Iron Man armor. Her shape changes into that of Mystique, leader of the new Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, who calls her new protege Rogue to tell her what happened.
I want to step back just one second, because there is a moment where they're all like waiting for this meeting to begin, and
they're having high tea.
They're having high tea, and Jarvis is like, "Oh, who would like a tea? Who would like cake?" And everybody's like, "Oh, I would like cake. Oh, no tea for me, thanks." And Vision's like, "I am a synthesoid robot. I do not need to eat your food or cake." Does he fucking do this every time anybody eats around him? Like, he's got plenty of human friends. Is it really like, you're like, do not invite him out to eat? He will spend the whole time bragging about how he doesn't have to eat.
He'll come. He'll show up.
For some reason. And he'll sit there and he'll say it to the waiter. And then he'll say it to you when they bring
He's so
the food.
rude to the waiter about it.
I like to imagine he just knows that Jarvis has been struggling to lose weight, and this is just his way of punishing the meat bags around him for being smug.
Outside Avengers Mansion, 3 people arrive at once. First, Jessica Drew, aka Spider-Woman, in a taxicab. Rogue, on foot, rushing past Drew into the courtyard. And Thor, who drops from the sky, taps his hammer to the ground, and becomes Dr. Donald Blake just before being knocked to the ground by Rogue's super strong fist. Spider-Woman immediately dives for the girl and distracts her long enough for the mighty Thor to reappear, but only for like a second because Rogue zaps his power too. Spider-Woman venom blasts her, but to no avail as the rest of the Avengers are alerted to the fight. Rogue, now possessing the powers of Thor, Captain America, and Ms. Marvel, they stack on top of each other.
Yeah, apparently.
Beats everyone's asses quick and flies off.
I love this from the logic of a child's playground fight, like superpower tag. If you lose the game of tag, then she's like, well, now I've also got Spider-Man girl powers. My dear friend Morgan is obsessed with Spider-Woman because I think a little after the first Spider-Verse came out, she was in a park and she had these little kids playing, and they both wanted to be Spider-Man, and this little boy was like, you can't be Spider-Man, you're a girl. And she's like, I'm Spider-Man girl.
Oh, that is so good.
And every time I think of Spider-Woman, I think of Spider-Man girl, and
Spider-Man girl is
I love
so
Spider-Man
good.
girl so much.
That girl is going to grow up to be President of the United States.
That child's name, Jim Shooter.
I don't know who that is.
Pittsburgh Shooter.
God, I've never heard of this guy.
No.
He's done some stuff. He did blow up Pittsburgh in one of his comics. And good for him, honestly. What anyone who escapes from Pittsburgh, that's basically our dream.
Ooh.
In a comic book.
MutantsMenacepod@gmail.com if you're from Pittsburgh. Let us know.
Shots thrown.
We're just happy we got out. If you're still in Pittsburgh, then I'm rooting for you.
Our new thing, Abby, now that we're in the mid-30s of episodes, is try to pick fights between people.
Well, I've been playing the odds by also clarifying that I think everyone in Philadelphia is a little baby man. Just so that the entire state of Pennsylvania will unite to kill me.
Which I didn't know, and now I know, and I'm actually really glad to have known that now.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it explains a lot about my behavior.
All the men in Pittsburgh are very, very strong and smart and have great beards, whereas in Philadelphia they can't really grow beards. It's just sort of a thing. They're not manly enough.
Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know.
Later that evening, Spider-Woman briefs the remaining Avengers on the situation. Carol Danvers, missing for 6 months, had reappeared 3 months ago in San Francisco, laying low until last night. The Avengers are shocked because they believe that Carol had found some kind of happily ever after. See, 6 months ago, Carol Danvers, aka Ms. Marvel, suddenly got super pregnant overnight. Within days, she gave birth to a son, and within hours, that son became a man named Marcus. Marcus was the son of Immortus and grew up in Limbo. Wanting to escape, he teleported Ms. Marvel to Limbo, manipulated her into falling in love with him, impregnated her, and then released her to Earth. His ties to Limbo caused all kinds of chaos on Earth, so he had to return, but Carol willingly, in quote-unquote, offered to return to Limbo with him because they were in love. The Avengers were all 100% cool with this. They just wished her well.
This is as fucked up as you guys, listener, think it is. We will get to it. We promise.
Yeah. You're right.
You are right.
As you think this is. Yeah, you nailed it.
Yes.
The Avengers track Rogue's new Kree energy signature to Rikers Island, where all the rest of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants have been since their attack on Senator Kelly. Right in the middle of New York. Mystique and Rogue drop Iron Man, still trapped in his inert armor, on the prison, destroying the energy grid. Blob, Pyro, Destiny, and Avalanche all escape, meeting up with the other two members in the wrecked prison courtyard just in time for the Avengers to assemble there or whatever. While the two groups do a big superhero fight, Spider-Woman slips away to rescue Iron Man, and Mystique slips away in disguise. While Jessica frees Iron Man, he warns her about Mystique's Nick Fury disguise, giving them the upper hand. Mystique runs while Iron Man beats the hell out of Rogue.
So Iron Man's suit, like, he can just survive a fall out of a helicopter in that suit just mechanically without any of the electrical systems working?
I guess. He's got some real good bubble foam.
It's a rock.
It's iron. Nothing can break iron.
Oh, that's right.
And if you can't break it, the things inside it can't get hurt either.
Did anyone read the Marvel What If issue where Iron Man is dropped out of the helicopter the same day as he'd been saying to Jarvis earlier, "Oh, phooey, who needs springs? I could survive a fall out of a helicopter without springs." And then a magical spring-shaped elf shows up and takes away all the springs and is like, "Tony, you need springs. They use the brakes in your car and they'll protect you from falling out of a helicopter in your Iron Man suit." No springs.
I haven't seen this, but with the voice you're using, I'm picturing the Great Gazoo.
It's basically the Great Gazoo, yeah. And I have a lot of material about Mr. B Natural, too, while we're at it.
We'll leave you a segment at the end for that.
I think she would be a great Avenger.
The tide has turned against the Brotherhood, and Rogue's Thor and Captain America powers are wearing off. So her and Mystique take off in some cool jet. Down in the prison, the flight...
It's a cool jet.
They're like, we want a jet that's one better than the Quinjet. Let's take off in the sex jet.
Down in the prison, the fight with the failed escapees comes to a close with 3 knocked unconscious in a massive blorf of water and sand to trap the blob. A few weeks later, at the X-Mansion, the X-Men, Jessica Drew, and Carol Danvers are all chilling poolside as the Avengers Quinjet drifts into view. At Carol's request, they all leave her to her confrontation alone. The Avengers deplane and smile as they're reunited with their friend Carol, now back in possession of her personality and large chunks of her memory. The reunion is not as happy as the Avengers wished, though, as Carol pulls back and really lets them have it.
She tells them what they should have known all along, that they abandoned her to her own rapist, that Marcus manipulated and used her, that she didn't truly leave Earth of her own free will. She fills them in that in their time in limbo, Marcus's plan backfired, causing him to continue rapidly aging until he fell to dust, freeing Carol from his mind control. She had to find her own way back to Earth from that cosmic hellscape. When the Avengers ask why she didn't come to them upon her return, she tells them it's because she hated them. They betrayed her. Professor X and Jessica Drew watch from afar and mourn for Carol, sensing her grief, her anger, her shame, her pain. But they allow her to have this confrontational... I don't know why I'm doing this voice, I'm sorry. But they allow her to have this confrontation alone. Carol goes on to tell them that as she was going through the most difficult, destabilizing moment of her life, the Avengers thought only of themselves, making jokes and picking out baby clothes. No one stopped to think what she must be going through. She misplaced her trust in the Avengers and they failed her completely. She asked them to leave her be for now and that maybe in time she'll be all right. The Avengers fly home dispirited, but Vision and Scarlet Witch vow to be better tomorrow than they were yesterday. I really like the dialogue Scarlet Witch has at the last page where she's like, I guess I never thought that I'd be capable of failing a friend like that.
Yeah.
And I guess I've been there. I hope that's a universal experience and doesn't just mean that I'm the worst friend ever.
No,
No.
I think that's one of the things that's important about the end of this comic is that Chris Claremont didn't have them all just sort of collapse into self-pity. They were just like, man, we fucked up and I didn't know I was this type of person and now I do, and now I know I have to be better.
Yeah, the demand that Carol makes is like the damage is done here. I'm saying if you see it again, do something about it.
All right, so there's obviously a lot to unpack here, but I do want to talk about something real quick because this comic was not received well in its time. Like, not this one. Not the one we just read was, but the comic that they are referring to, which is Avengers number 200.
Okay.
So Miss Marvel was a comic book about, a female Captain Marvel, and it was exactly like you think. Like exactly like women in comic books were in the 1970s, right? Just a bunch of men trying to cash in on this idea of like, well, maybe women will buy these things. So it was just,
let's give her lady powers.
Exactly.
Like they called her Ms. Marvel. They named her after another character and just put Ms. in front of it.
Yes.
And you could tell because she looked just like Marvel, but she had lipstick and a little pink bow like Pac-Man. Is that right?
Yeah.
But I think the ghosts had different names.
So
Nintendo rejected my pitch for Ms. Mario. I don't know why. Ms. Sonic the Hedgehog.
So Chris Claremont takes over that comic at some point very shortly before its cancellation. He takes over Miss Marvel and he starts making her into like a fully rounded, fully realized character. He starts trying to add to her and make her have a personality, right? And then it gets almost immediately canceled. So then in 1980, in Avengers 200, David Michelini is writing and comes up with this idea, and Carol Danvers is supposed to have a baby and then fight Marcus for what he's done to her and defeat him and then become a single mother. That was the plan. Still kind of fucked, but that was the plan. Then a little guy named Jim Shooter gets involved.
Who?
And
Pittsburgh's favorite son, Jim Shooter.
And he says, this is a little bit too much like a What If comic that we recently did. What if the Avengers fought the Kree Skrull War without Rick Jones? And it was, I don't know.
Was it a serious what if, not a funny one?
I don't know, but it was.
Those are the worst.
But it was, I think so, and it was stupid, right? So Jim Shooter was like, no, I don't want you to do that. And basically rewrites this comic. And this is his way of trying to, he's like, Ms. Marvel didn't work. This is our way to send her off into the sunset.
Ugh.
And so he writes this story. Then shortly afterwards, in a comic fanzine at the time called LOC, L-O-C. I don't actually know what it stands for, to be honest. But there's
Lovers of Comics?
Lovers of Comics, maybe? That maybe.
Maybe it's short for Lock, spelled L-O-C-K.
So a woman named Carol A. Strickland writes an essay called The Rape of Miss Marvel. And she writes really eloquently about how fucking horrible this issue was.
Yeah.
First of all, how women have been treated in comics up to this point, how refreshing it was to see Chris Claremont's take on her, how annoying it was that got immediately canceled, and then how no one seems to understand that what happened to Miss Marvel in that comic, Avengers 200, was in fact a rape.
Yeah.
And then they made her fall in love with her rapist and run off into the sunset. She says, the story ends with Miss Marvel and Marcus teleporting to semi-limbo. Iron Man begins to have second thoughts. We've just got to believe that everything worked out for the best, he temporizes. He isn't convinced, but he won't make a scene. Mr. Macho Hawkeye turns sloppy John Wayne sentimental. That's all we can do, he says. Believe and hope that Miss Marvel lives happily ever after. It is a fitting end to this male fantasy. A desirable woman/mother figure is raped and then chooses to be the lover of her rapist son. Raping is manly. Women love to be raped. Perversion is wonderful for kids and other people of taste to read. The story would be almost laughable if it weren't written in such earnest. And then Chris Claremont, while writing the X-Men, is equally horrified. So a year later, writes this Avengers Annual 10 to try and and I think this is probably why he has the co-editor credit here, right?
Yeah.
Because Jim Shooter is still the editor-in-chief. And he's trying to fix some of the damage that has been done to a character he cared about. So that's where this comes from.
Goodness.
The way that it's written reads so much like sort of what I think of as very special episode comics, where they really get to grips with the hot button social issue. But it doesn't. Sure. I don't know. It feels a lot better than a lot of those usually strike me. And I'm realizing I think the reason that a lot of very similar plot lines felt so samey to me in the last 20 years of pop culture is probably less because they were written any differently and more just because we've been so inundated with the same discourse and everyone's sort of trying to, this is how it really is. And you're just like, how I mean, obviously we get, right.
But
I just want to play Digimon.
So we could think here that there's a more complex story to tell, but I wonder, are superhero comics the best place to address that story?
There's another question there for sure.
And I wonder if this isn't, Pat, you mentioned this being sort of a simplified version, and I think that's true, but this might actually sort of be the best way that one could address. This, obviously, the original story, the story in Avengers 200 shouldn't have happened, right?
Yeah.
But it did. And you're still within the medium of superhero comics. So how do you address it without being subject to the same simplifications that caused the problem in the first place?
Right. The Avengers could have just moved on, like the story of the Avengers could have just moved on pretending it didn't happen, but that would be
Even
exactly what the characters the Avengers did to cause
Right.
a problem.
Yeah, I guess I'm in the fortunate position of not really caring about comic books. I think the comic books are for children, and therefore nothing that happens in them matters to me. But yeah, I don't know if the Avengers is the comic for that. But then on the other hand, like the comic book with a big green man that punches things really hard. I think there is a case to be made that you should be tackling sophisticated themes
Yeah.
in that, just because it's so stupid. Like you're not just
Right.
like talking about, here's John who works at the store and he's dealing with alcoholism, becomes very bleak. Whereas like when there is the element of the power fantasy in it, then, whether you're
Yeah.
dealing with it or it's just exposing you to the idea that someone might be dealing with it, you have the element of, oh, but I could fly, so it wouldn't be that bad. I don't know if that would be easier, because I guess whenever I've read anything that really hit close to home in Cape Comics, it hasn't left me feeling empowered. It's just left me feeling like, oh, so I don't have superpowers and I'm dealing with this crap,
Yeah.
But
Well,
I think that's I don't think that's normal. Like I think a lot of other people find comfort in seeing whatever superhero. I don't know. What has been your experiences?
I see myself as a superhero.
When you see like a Philadelphian, who's dealing with like, oh, I wet my pants again because I'm a stupid baby man. And my
Okay.
girlfriend doesn't
I think-
respect me because I'm a little baby man. Like superhero who can still fly. I mean, not very well, because people from Philadelphia have something wrong with them. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm compelled to say this. I'm so sorry.
This is-
You're lovely.
I just-
Everyone in Philadelphia is cool.
I don't think we have many Philadelphian listeners. You really don't have to apologize to them.
That's fair.
One of the later issues we're going to look at, Kitty Pryde is sort of struggling with adolescence because she doesn't have any like adult women who can give her advice. She's like afraid of Ororo, I guess, making fun of her a little. And there's a cool motorcycle outside of my apartment, you might have heard. And
Yes.
Yes.
and that sort of meant a lot to me, sort of, remembering being an adolescent and sort of not having a lot of female role models who could give me advice. But because there's sort of this fantastical element of like, oh, she's friends with superheroes, like it's not like she never looks at the camera and says like, and I'm dealing with having a single dad who can't give me advice.
Right.
Yeah. Who wants to get to a fun one?
Okay. Yeah. No, I think there's some interesting things being handled here, but I think like and I love that Chris Claremont stole the narrative back from fucking Jim Shooter.
Yeah.
But I'm glad it ended here, not because that is the most cathartic or intelligent way for it to wrap up, just because fucking I don't want those guys writing about it anymore.
Yeah.
I just I don't trust them with it. Does that make sense?
For sure. Do you think Jim Shooter, because he was still editor-in-chief, like what did that meeting look like, do you think?
I wonder. I think it would have gone a little something like.
Could I just introduce before we move on? I'm sure you've talked about this before, but I only found out today that Mystique was Sherlock Holmes in her backstory. Have you two discussed this at all?
What?
No.
According to Wikipedia, it was revealed last year that the fictional character of Sherlock Holmes was historically just Mystique living among Victorian London as a white man. And Irene Adler Destiny was, of course, the actual Irene Adler from the stories.
Irene
and
Adler.
I just, for the rest of this, while we're talking about Mystique's adventures with ROM Spaceknight, if we could refer to her as Sherlock Holmes, I'd be very grateful. Sherlock Holmes, Destiny, and Rogue. Sherlock Holmes and her daughter, Rogue, fighting ROM Spaceknight.
That's so fun. There are some fucking writers, right, who all they see they can't A to C it, right? Like they see a thing and they can't think beyond the most basic A to B connection. And I think honestly, we'll talk about it. It's referenced a couple times in the comics that we're reading today, but I think that's where the Mystique and Nightcrawler are related thing comes from. It's just both blue, right?
Oh yeah, that's so when Rom is saying like he looks very similar to Nightcrawler. Like that was when they introduced that. That's so dumb. I love it.
And it's so I think honestly, so like fucking Chris Claremont names Destiny Irene Adler as a nod to Sherlock Holmes, and then some dumb writer 50 years later is like, what if it is Sherlock Holmes?
I'm so mad at this. I'm so mad.
Just this inability to think beyond step one. Speaking of Sherlock Holmes, aka Mystique,
and ROM Spaceknight.
Speaking of writers who can't A to C, like Bill Mantlo, Abby, do you want to read ROM 31 or do you want me to?
So the next issue we're going to cover is ROM Spaceknight number 31. ROM, I believe, was based on a toy line that they lost the rights to, and now ROM can only appear out of his suit in flashbacks and things. Now there's a man.
I didn't know that.
Apparently, he has to appear in flashbacks, like half out of his suit. Someone was telling me. I think it was my girlfriend. Now, okay, so it's a man who sort of grew up in a land that was sort of scarred by wraiths, these horrible dark wraiths that, these inhuman creatures that stalked the land and would just kill anyone who looked at them wrong, and sort of warped the people of this land into barely recognizable as living beings at all. Pat, what's it been like living in Philadelphia?
Oh my God.
I want somebody to tally how many times this joke comes up in this episode. I'm loving it every time.
Thank you very much.
All right, do you want to...
Our story starts... Sorry, I'm so sorry for interrupting you. You were very polite in trying to keep me on track, but unfortunately, my desire to clown on Philadelphia for no real reason. Everyone I know from there is wonderful. Pat's one of my favorite humans.
Oh. One of your favorite little babies.
Yeah, one of my favorite little baby men. Toddling around in his Power Wheels car, honking the little horn. Hey, we have to record a podcast.
Now you're
right. So Clairton, West Virginia, toddling off the subject. Bill Mantlo wrote the story of this issue of ROM Spaceknight. Sal Buscema and Joe Sinnott did the art. R. Parker did letters. B. Bean did colors. Milgram and Nocenti were the editors, and Jim Shooter was the editor-in-chief. And I gotta say, by the way, the lettering in this era of comics didn't impress me.
Yeah,
I was reading. It's everything's out of order. Sorry, go on.
They do a thing that drives me nuts, which is they don't bold words for emphasis. They just bold words that seem. It seems at random. It doesn't.
At random, yeah.
Maybe they're trying to cover up mistakes, but there are letterers that bold for emphasis. And I think that's the most effective thing you can do as an editor is help people read the sentence in a voice. And they're not doing that here. Drives me nuts.
Yeah. They're kind of unstuck in time. The panels, like sometimes the panels will be like read left to right, even though there'll be one beneath it. And it'll be like short panel on the left, and then one tall panel, and you're meant to read it in like a Z shape.
Yeah.
Nonsense.
If ever there's an arrow telling you which panel to move to,
give up.
You've done it wrong.
Quit.
Yeah.
Go home, write a novel.
and then point at the end of every
Yeah.
at the end of every paragraph in the novel, it points to which paragraph it wants you to read next.
I like this. I believe that's House of Leaves shtick. This issue came out March 9th, 1982, but the cover date was June 1982. Clairton, West Virginia. Torpedo, a sex pervert charged with protecting this town in the absence of ROM the Spaceknight, sees a wraith materializing out of a snowdrift through the visor of the pup helmet that ROM Spaceknight gave him. And this freak wraith is materializing around the old Mark's farm. He looks kind of like if a jellyfish had lips you could kiss.
Yes.
And Torpedo
that's
is
a
easily
great way
knocked
to put it.
aside by the grotesque creature. Torpedo uses what is called full jet power to throw a pitchfork at the monster, but it stops midair. The monster even mentions that he just used that pitchfork to kill a man, and I think that means the pitchfork recognizes him as its master and refuses to obey Torpedo, who I assume has sort of gambit powers. You know, I bet he charges the things he throws with power. I could Google it, but I refuse to.
It looks like he has fans on his like hands and feet, as if like
That's so dumb.
like I
It helps
throw
him-
this thing and the fan propels it forward.
This is the worst character I've seen in a long time. I
I'm
love him.
Just
I'm
pulling his
obsessed.
shoulder out of socket every time.
Yeah.
I want to
mean,
know
I'm
all the
ma-
lore about Torpedo.
I'm making that up. Like I don't know if that's it,
Ha.
but that's the way it looks to me. Like, man, this character is one of the worst looking characters in all comic books.
He makes me think of there's like a human bullet guy in the comic book themed video game Freedom Force. Like
Oh yes. I like that we normally do like a little bit of research about these characters. I think with Torpedo, we just should not. We just
No.
shouldn't. He's not. He hasn't earned it.
Just
Earn it.
speculate.
I imagine Torpedo is the only superhero on the Marvel Comics fandom wiki that has like a list of fetishes and limits. No butt stuff, all right?
You look at this guy. His limit is so far beyond no butt stuff.
For the
Like,
purposes of this podcast, I am pretending that I can't think of anything else.
Okay.
The creature announces himself as hybrid. Well, see, so scientific words, things march on and you'll hear a complicated word more often. And so like, DNA, which used to be very rare, like now we hear it and you're like, you don't even know what that means. Shut up, dude. Like, what's a clone? Everyone knows what a clone is. Clones aren't interesting anymore. Hybrids aren't interesting anymore. So it can help to sort of go back 43 years and sort of get into a more scientifically primitive mindset. So I was wondering, Pat, you're from Philadelphia. What do you think?
Well,
we
look, I'll
don't
s-
have hybrids here.
I'll say the word hybrid in the way that we're describing it was first used in 1601. Or at least it was first in print in 1601. So I don't know.
I might talk about this on a lot of podcasts. It's one of my favorite stupid trivia word things, but the word homosexual from early sex theorists in like the 1800s, a lot of them were like, this is a horrible hybrid word between Greek and Latin. Like they thought the word homosexual was disgusting because it combined Greek and Latin. And I just think that's a wonderful objection to have. It makes me so happy that that's the main concern. And I do like to imagine that there are people today who are still like,
Yeah. What if that's
how
like
dare you?
That's what drives like Clarence Thomas. Is he's like
It's disgusting.
it's a better world.
Unnatural.
It's a better world. Somewhere else in West Virginia, a prison chain gang clears snow from the roads so that a high-security transport can enter the prison. This transport contains the Blob, Avalanche, Destiny, and Pyro. And my favorite thing about this is that they're in little magic rings that are freezing their powers. But
Yeah.
we hear Destiny's internal monologue, and her powers are still working. which means that Iron Man has built a thing that can freeze powers, but didn't bother to use it on Destiny because her powers are stupid and useless.
Yeah. What's she gonna do? He
Yeah.
says. Like,
I can spend that money on Jack Daniels.
I can't believe that even this early on in superhero comics, they were still transporting all the supervillains together in one caravan.
Still fully in costume, too.
Yeah, still in costume and just like, I'm sure nothing
Pyro's
bad will
still
happen
got
here.
his fire shooting things on his
Yeah,
arms.
yeah. His powers are useless if he can't make fire, and they're like, let him have his flamethrower. It'll make him happy.
Is the idea that like if someone went in to try to take it off, they'd get frozen too? So like there's no way to remove it?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Their last few prison breaks, their last several prison breaks have been in the middle of dense populations, so they're hoping that a rural prison will make their next breakout a bit safer. I believe Avalanche is mentioned to have recently fought the Hulk in another issue, who broke his arms.
That's right.
Yeah.
And sent him right back to jail.
Suddenly, one of the prison crew slips on the snow right into the path of the big truck, which can fly, by the way. But they feel that putting the 1 million pound truck on ice is much safer. Also, it has they're like fire shooting jets beneath it, so you'd think they'd be able to turn those on just to melt the ice, right? Or would that damage? Like if it's that close, it would damage the mechanisms. I don't know.
I don't know why this didn't occur to me.
Well,
But
you've never had
yeah,
your car
why-
stuck in the ice. That's all I
Why
think. Is I
did-
wish I had jets on my car.
Why did they drive it at all?
Yeah, why not?
Well,
just
they
fly?
say visibility is too
It's a
low.
plate.
Like in the blizzard.
Oh, okay.
They've solved the problem of like turning off mutant abilities with magic rings, but not radar.
They're gonna just ask Destiny if they were gonna hit anything.
Ha! That's why they left her power on. They're like siphoning her visions out of the back of her neck. All seems lost for this poor guy locked in the snow until ROM Spaceknight comes streaking down from the sky and brings the truck to a halt, saving the prisoners' lives. Unsure of what's going on, the transport driver assumes they're under attack and does take flight and makes it to the prison fine. So all of our justifications were for nothing. The prison guards panic and start shooting at Rom, only to run away screaming when their bullets only bounce off of him. Rom asks the prisoners why they're chained, and a man named Japes tells them they're slaves, forced into labor by the warden. And Rom buys this without hesitation and breaks their chains, wishing them luck, my friends, as he
Is
takes
this
off
how-
to follow the transport.
I kind of got the impression. I haven't read much ROM, but in the last 2 issues of ROM that we read, I kind of got the impression he was just like a kind of a normal guy with normal brains.
Yeah, and maybe smart.
Like, how did this work on him? He doesn't know what prisoners are?
I'm so torn, because one interpretation I'm enjoying a lot is the idea of him as just dumb as a brick.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like, hey, you stop that. I gotta
Yeah.
fight Wraiths. But he did have like a relationship with a woman, and so I kind of like it better if it's just he could believe it about West Virginia.
He
He's
comes
those
from
guys.
Yeah.
They could own
That's
slaves,
so
yeah.
fucking funny. He comes from a war planet that never had prisons? Like, is that what we're meant to believe here?
It's-
Like, his war planet didn't have such a thing as a prisoner.
I think he mentions
Well, no.
later that he does know the idea. He just believed this guy. And I guess his name is Japes, so maybe that's the name of that sounds like a con man kind of a name. So maybe the idea is just that this specific guy sounds very convincing.
He's very charismatic, Japes.
Oh my goodness. Well, good on you, Japes.
Hey.
Look, I'm in support of Japes' prison break. I don't know what Jape was convicted of, so maybe I shouldn't throw my whole weight behind Jape's. But
yeah. I think if they let you go free, then it's fine. You know, there's I think prisons should operate on a policy of no take backsies.
if you get out, well, that one was on us.
I'd like to imagine the guy looks at ROM and he's like, "This is a primitive region of America where people are allowed to keep humans as their slaves in like a system of might make right, and warlords control us. The warden in this case is the most powerful warlord of the region, and he's enslaved us to his bidding." And ROM's like, "Well, you are very close to Philadelphia, so I can believe it." I'm not sorry. I'm a little sorry.
That one took too long.
Yeah. Yeah, I know that people from Philadelphia don't have a long attention span.
Now that's true.
Oh, baby.
That one is fully true. Yeah.
As the evil mutants are loaded into the prison behind special energy fields, an alarm sounds at the front gate. But it's not another evil mutant, it's ROM, ready to free the slaves!
Yay.
And the evil mutants are being escorted to the cells by the warden, Dr. Kellogg, that looks a lot like Rogue in a professional suit. And by the way, I'm so used to Rogue as like the young, almost the Kitty Pryde type.
Yeah.
And I don't know how much making her look evil and how much is like 80s hairstyles, but she looks like 50 at least in all of her appearances we've been reading, and I love it. Like she looks like she should be telling Bob Newhart that he has another patient in on the Bob Newhart show.
What a very specific reference.
I just recently learned that lady went on to play Mrs. Krabappel on The Simpsons.
No way.
Oh.
Yeah. And the warden has a special device that's keeping the prisoner's powers from working, and he gives his device to Rogue, and it turns out she's Rogue, and she sets the Brotherhood free and reveals that the warden is also on her side and is in fact Sherlock Holmes in disguise. Another clever disguise, Holmes, says Lestrade. And they take out the guards and run to the exit. And at one point, the Blob is like, "I should go free all the other slaves. I mean, prisoners. I mean, oh, whatever am I?" And Rogue says, like, "No, they're humans. We hate humans. We're evil mutants. We can't free criminals."
Yeah,
I like that Blob is so good-natured. He's just like, yeah, just might as well free everyone.
He's just out to have a good time. He really just likes like bullying people. That's what gives him pleasure. So I can sympathize with him just being wrapped up with people that are a little too motivated to
do actual evil, where he just wants to break stuff and like bounce into people and make fun of people. Like that's all he wants to do. And like, is that evil, or is that just kind of an asshole?
It's his way of making friends.
He just wants to be a bad boy.
He's just like, I'm a big bad boy.
We've all been there.
Mm-hmm. Justice for Blob.
Justice for Blob. Amen. Amen. ROM initially mistakes the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants for more slaves and wants to help. But then they introduce themselves as the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants. And, you always knew that was going to bite him in the butt.
Aha! He said.
It finally got him.
Hey! There's, have either of you watched the sitcom Barney Miller?
No.
There's a guy named, I forget, it was a 70s sitcom about a cop, and there's a Polish police officer, and he's very well written. Like he's the character over the course of, 8 seasons. I stand by Wojo Howitz as being a great character. And he just he just does this really deep dumb guy voice, and it's incredible. And I'm reading all of ROM's dialogue like, "Hey, they said they're evil? What's going on here?"
Yeah. At this point it's kind of just like, is he stupid?
I hope so.
Is that his problem?
Has he? Oh, yeah. He did not seem this stupid in that. Like, we haven't been reading ROM, right? But the last time he crossed over with the X-Men, he seemed like a normal guy.
Well, that's the power of a con man. He, I've actually been pitching a spin-off about the adventures of Japes, the greatest con man in the world, and Jim Shooter hasn't been answering my emails. I don't know why not. Could be any number of reasons. Jim Shooter hasn't answered my emails in a while.
If Japes had come into contact with even one X-Man for a moment, he would be on the loser league list. Abby, we have a collection of overconfident criminals who have tried to fight the X-Men and embarrassed themselves.
That rules. That's
been a
another
little while.
thing where the
It's been a while.
like the mutant power homosexual parallel really takes off, because like loser criminals are always coming up to homosexuals and just getting humiliated. In my neighborhood all the time, you just see a lot of like a con man will come out and he'll be like, "Hey, do you want to buy a watch?" And then I have no punchline here. I thought I'd find some kind of a funny thing to say if I went down this road, but I think I've put all of my wit into making fun of Philadelphia for this episode, and it's gone. I've just
all
wasted
you can
your
pull
time.
off.
That's my racial enmity has been activated as a Pittsburgh native. So the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants all have a big fight. An Avalanche is trying to join the fight, even though his arms are broken and they're in like,
Yeah.
I guess they have to be casts, but it looks more like they're just in giant rocks.
Yeah,
It's weird.
rock
looking.
casts, I think,
That's so dumb.
so that he can destroy them at any time.
Yeah. He's like if Whitebeard from One Piece was level 1. That's a really stupid thing to say.
Ooh,
See, again,
that's-
it's
that's
not a
going over
Philadelphia
both our-
joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he
I
has
mean,
earthquake powers.
We both have an X-Men podcast, and we don't get that joke.
Well, I think you'd like One Piece. It's pretty good. It's no Parashoppers, but it's pretty good.
I think pro wrestling and anime are the two things that you would really assume at least one of us is into, and we just aren't.
Honestly, goals. I want to be less into anime and pro wrestling and just like the X-Men, but unfortunately, I'm too busy getting laid.
Okay.
So I was showering
get
with
back-
my girlfriend earlier. I'm sorry.
Let's get back to the story.
Yes. So they have a big fight, and Avalanche. So Avalanche is like, "I want to fight the guys," and Mystique is like, "Your arms are broken, you moron." And Avalanche is like, "I want to fight the guys," and then he tries to move the earth, but his arms are broken, and so he doesn't do it right. And Blob and Pyro just like go flying into each other.
Yeah,
And
he has
they say
no
the
control over it.
shockwaves go through Avalanche's arms and he passes out from pain. Oh, and I'd forgotten in the earlier fight, Beast from the X-Men is there. And he like jumps over Pyro. No, he jumps over the Blob and kicks Pyro in the face. And Destiny was like, "I'm fine with you doing that thing that I couldn't stop you from doing anyway, because a building is about to fall on your head. It's called chess, idiot."
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's like the closest to making a person with future sight like do anything in a fight, I guess.
It's just, I knew you would do this. Absolutely. I did absolutely nothing to to make it happen, but I knew it would happen. Therefore, my power has come in handy.
Really bad. So half of the guys are done, and then Rogue takes off with her parents, Sherlock Holmes and Irene Adler. Sherlock Holmes flies away with her daughter Rogue, and they say, "Sounds like we should rename ourselves to the Sisterhood of Evil Mutants."
They sure do.
I like that they're
It's-
not
it-
fussed about being evil, but they do care a lot about their gender. Same.
It reads as a joke at the time, but then they just continue to call themselves the Sisterhood of Evil Mutants.
Right.
The
Good.
narrator takes it up.
Yeah. And Rom is like, "Sorry I set all those murderers free, man. I'll go make up for it." And the warden's like, "I guess that's the only way that we can be square, is if you re-arrest those guys." And he doesn't deputize them or anything. They just superhero rules, you know? There's not enough panels for that. And so Rogue, Mystique, and Destiny stop at an abandoned farmhouse that we saw in the cold open.
And Destiny says, oh, there's horror and death in there. And Rogue is like, well, if the lady who can see the future sees horror and death, I mean, it's got to be fun. And she goes inside, but then its hybrid is standing there, and she's like, is this jellyfish going to make out with me? Because Rogue's gotten really into kissing strange men in her sort of Bildungsroman.
This was the era of Rogue where it was like all she could do was kiss. She could, they were like,
that was me 14 to 16.
Her power was you could touch anybody and you take their powers. But every writer was like, yeah, but what if she kisses him every time? Wouldn't that be kind of cool?
I hope every time she kisses someone, there's like a little editor caption at the bottom communicating her age.
Oh, Abby, you will not enjoy reading X-Men if you're trying to calculate everybody's age.
So all seems lost, right? Criminals are wandering the streets, going free. Women are being menaced by an inhuman monster. There's like a horrible jellyfish creature stalking the streets. Its name is the Philadelphia Fanatic.
All right. ROM number 32. Choosing Sides. A Mantlo Buscema Sinnott Parker Sean Nocenti production. Release date April 6th, 1982. Cover date July 1982. The Sisterhood of Evil Mutants. Woke bullshit. Stands face to face with Hybrid, while Destiny can only see death in the future. Fighting him proves useless, but when Hybrid starts invading Mystique's mind, she formulates a plan. She sees his memories as we get a recap from ROM 17 and 18, including the end where he's defeated by ROM and the X-Men, and since they share common enemies, Mystique proposes an alliance. Meanwhile, ROM returns to Clairton, West Virginia to tell all of his friends that he fucked up and freed a bunch of murderers, only to find them gathered around an incapacitated Torpedo. Torpedo, the pervert, explains that after getting his ass handed to him, which he loved, Hybrid also entered his mind, which he loved, and ravaged his soul, which he didn't actually love that one.
Yeah, that was the unpleasant
We
part.
found his limit.
Now he's more of a pervert.
No ravaging my soul.
Hard limit.
The only limit I have is ravaging my soul. Some weird drama ensues involving a guy named Steve and a guy named Mack Killburn, hack reporter, and then Rom runs off to find the criminals he freed.
Mack Killburn, hack reporter, is here.
Pat, who's Mack Killburn, hack reporter?
He's a character created exclusively for ROM Spaceknight. This is his final appearance in comics.
Poor Mack Killburn, hack reporter. We hardly knew you.
He gets 2 frames where he just says, "Remember me?"
I love the idea of a team up with Japes, where Japes is just always fooling him, and he reports it as a breaking scoop, and the senator yells at him.
Back at Mark's old farmhouse, Hybrid and the Sisterhood start planning their next steps to take over the world as the convicts that Rom freed last issue approach. They love murder, and especially murdering broads, so this seems like a prime opportunity. Until Hybrid uses his powers to levitate all of them, read their minds, and then spins them in place so rapidly that the flesh is ripped from their bones and only their skeletons remain.
That sounds excessive.
He killed them by spinning them around.
They warn you about this in ballet class.
Death by twirling.
That's why you got to do. That's why you got to do spotting. So, Mystique reminds Hybrid that these Homo sapiens could have served Homo Superior when they rule the Earth. Hybrid snaps at this and reminds everyone that everyone will serve him when their work is done. No time for that now, though. We've got to go kill Rom. Oh, boy. Rom flies through the West Virginia skies using his scanner to find signs of evil life. It's my evil life scanner. He finds Mystique beaten and in distress, claiming
But enough
that
about
she...
Philadelphia. Sorry, I had to.
Oh.
Took me a moment. I was like, there's something. There it is.
He finds Mystique beaten and in distress, claiming she was beaten by Hybrid. He's too smart for it this time, though. He calls Mystique a liar, just as he's zapped in the back by Rogue.
He still falls into the trap. He's just, instead of believing her, he wastes time saying, aha!
Knowing he's part human, Rogue tries to kiss Rom and absorb his power, but Rom has suppressed his humanity in order to tamp down his emotional pain, so all she absorbs is some of the goodness in him. It's a very weird moment. They're like, it's like they both fall in love.
Oh yeah, he's like, curse you for being so hot that I'm feeling emotions that I must never feel.
How dare you make me feel these feelings, because I can't be human and fuck you, I guess.
I've met a lot of evangelical guys who are like that.
It's very Bill Mantlo. It's very like, you're either human and you fuck, or you're inhuman and you don't fuck.
And you're so upset because you can't fuck.
Yeah.
And just the thought of fucking makes you like incapacitated with emotion.
I love the idea of Bill Mantlo just meeting an asexual person and being like, what? Whoa!
My
They
God, there's
walk
so
among
many.
us.
There are so many types of people Bill Mantlo would does not understand.
Are you a cyborg?
No, I just wear crutches.
There's a bit earlier on in the Avengers we read where Beast is talking to the Dark Angel. Spider-Woman is like, hey, my darling Dark Angel, how's it going? And I guess that's now the voice I'm going to picture Chris Claremont in. Like, Bill Mantlo meets anything that's different, and he's like, whoa, this is terrifying. And Chris Claremont's just like, hey, yeah, I've been with one of you guys. Wrote one of it into my stories, I did.
So you're setting up a universe where Chris Claremont absolutely fucks, and Bill Mantlo has barely ever seen human beings before.
I'm saying Chris Claremont has had sex in ways that we in 2025 still haven't conceived of. That's the only stereotype I know about Chris Claremont. I haven't read a lot of his work, but that's how I choose to interpret him, having done no research.
That he's all
whatsoever.
horned up.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people, who have sex in sort of strange and unusual ways. Maybe because they, no one taught them sex education properly. Maybe they were sort of raised, in the fields, working for some kind of a warlord, and they had to sort of piece together their understanding of sex just from, what other like toothless warriors have taught them, like while stewing lizards over a fire in like an oil can.
Yeah. All right, it's getting you're getting there.
It's coming around.
It's coming. It's coming. We can see it. We can see it cresting over the hill.
I could have gotten it out if you didn't do this. How's your wife, Pat?
She's asleep. I tucked her in. I said goodnight.
Oh,
She's
that's so sweet.
comfortably in bed.
Okay. This kiss between Rogue and Rom.
This kiss. Unspeakable.
Does buy enough time for Hybrid to catch Rom by surprise, though, and they start battling to the death. With Hybrid's psychic guard down, Destiny is finally able to see a clear future and sees Hybrid's true plans for them. Once Rom is out of the picture, he will enslave them all to breed them, creating a race of unstoppable super beings. Again, Bill Mantlo, all he can see when he sees any female character is something pregnant for the villains to breed with. Yeah, pregnant.
Rogue's reaction to this is also very, for all of them, I guess, the entire sisterhood isn't so much disgusted that he wants to imprison all female mutants for breeding. They're disgusted at the idea of having sex with him. They're like, this is a terrible plan. That guy's gross.
It's got like a space penis.
And he is he looks like the Independence Day aliens.
He looks like a bunch of creepy crawlers melted together.
Yeah.
Led by Rogue's persuasive pleas, they agree to help Rom instead. Cut to Rom, who's being torn apart by Hybrid, just getting the absolute shit kicked out of him. Rogue flies in, though, and makes skin-to-skin contact with Hybrid. Remember, he's half human? That's the Hybrid part. And absorbs enough of his power to temporarily stop him. Rom hops back into action, telling Rogue he can take it from here, but Destiny knows he's doomed without their help. In order to manipulate Rom, Hybrid shapeshifts into the human woman he has a crush on, and Rom seems to fall for it.
Here he goes again.
But Mystique sees what's happening and enters in the form of the same lady. This allows Rom to focus, seeing how easy it is to create an illusion.
Yeah, I don't have a better sense of it than that.
He's like, oh,
there's two of you. You're probably both fake.
Have a punch. Rom gets the upper hand again, but discovers Hybrid has a force field to protect against his neutralize. Where did he get this?
It's weird because, like, if I saw two identical copies of, someone I loved most in the world, my thinking would be, great, let's go home.
It'd be more Claremontian than Mantloian.
Yes, you know what? Yes, absolutely. Well put. It'd be like, hey, babes, I got a martini.
Where Bill Mantlo would be like, there's two women in the world?
Kill them both.
Poor Bill Mantlo.
I mean, literally poor Bill, but it's like what happened to Bill Mantlo in real life is a fucking tragedy, but there is so little excuse for his writing back when he was healthy. It's Rogue time again as she removes a glove and touches Hybrid, absorbing just enough of his power to remove his force field, and Rom blasts him into oblivion again. Hopefully it'll stick this time. Rom assumes the gals have learned their lesson and lets them walk free. The end.
Hey.
And Rogue and Rom think wistfully after each other.
It's so strange for her to... Oh, I hope I see him again. Do you think they ever do meet again?
I think no. My guess is no.
Rom is like peaking right now, right? This is... It doesn't get more popular.
There's a guy in the letters who says that the last issue of ROM is the greatest comic ever published, I think. And
it is.
I would not
people
say
went
that
nuts for this.
Yeah.
The way that Rogue can make out with ROM and they enjoy it so much, and I guess she can do it without killing him, makes me think like was there ever an arc where she's just like, I'm gonna make out with a bunch of like aliens that are so incompatible that it's okay? Like, does she ever try to date Iron Man in the suit?
Yeah. Or guys kind of made of metal, right? Yeah, like Rom is a toy. He is a toy that's human sized, right? Like that's like
you are a sad, strange little man, and you have my pity.
Yes, he's Buzz Lightyear.
She can just keep making why wouldn't this inspire her to be like, oh, I kind of like kissing action figures?
All right. There's a very fun and confusing moment here because we don't follow ROM Spaceknight at all, where he's back talking to his friends and somebody goes like, oh, Rom, does that mean you're not sticking around permanently? And this guy thinks to himself, good. He's throwing a little baby tantrum.
It's this guy named Steve.
His name is Steve, yeah.
Who seems clearly to be getting cucked by Rom, right? He's clearly like, oh man,
Hey, my dear Dark Angel, how's it going?
My girlfriend loves this big toy and not me. Like, everyone talks about him like he's half human, but he is like just made of metal. And right?
There's a human in him. He's a former human who had to replace most of his body with metal.
Oh.
But he's a cyborg, so he's not entirely robot.
So there's like guts in there and stuff. Like, you tear ROM open, it's gonna be icky.
I don't know.
What?
Do they ever tear him open?
Let me quick Google. What's inside ROM? What's inside ROM Spaceknight?
How many licks does it take to get to the center of ROM Spaceknight?
Oh, okay. The original ROM Spaceknight contained a simple circuit board, a speaker, LED lights, and a connector port powered by a single 9-volt battery. So that's now we know.
This guy's running on 9 volts?
Pat, would you do me the absolute honor?
My sister actually died trying to make out with our ROM Spaceknight doll. Got electrocuted to
death. Pat, would you do me the absolute honor?
Yeah.
Of reading me a synopsis, just basically telling me the story about
Get to the point,
X-Men.
Matt. You're puffy faffing.
I'm not! You saying puffy faffing took longer than my puffy faffing. Tell me about Uncanny X-Men 158.
Uncanny X-Men number 158, The Life That Late I Led. Chris Claremont, we're back to Claremont titles.
Yeah.
Chris Claremont, writer, Dave Cockerman, Bob Wyachek, artists, Joe Rosen, letterer, Glynis Ween, Louise Jones, editor, Jimmy, editor-in-chief. Release date, March 9th, 1982. Cover date, June 1982. In the X-Men's Bermuda Triangle base, Carol Danvers spars with the Starjammers while Peter Corbeau monitors her on some computer thing. He discovers that, remarkably, Carol's physiognomy? Am I saying that right?
Now I don't know.
I think
now
it's
that you've
physiognomy.
said it, I think it's physiognomy. Yeah.
Physiognomy. I've only ever seen it written.
Oh,
He discovers
like
that
they've invented writing in Philadelphia.
He discovers that, remarkably, Carol's physiognomy is operating at peak levels, though she eventually finds herself dogpiled by the gang. Corbeau concludes that while her powers may be gone, some of the other genetic modifications that came from her transformation into Ms. Marvel appear to be intact. While she still mourns the loss of her powers, she's actually still superior to a normal human. Also, Moira McTaggart is here.
Oh, she is.
There is a gingham pattern on everything in this room. The walls, all the computers, the boxes that are just stacked up on the wall.
Oh, yeah.
Why are they doing that?
I gotta...
Maybe it's just drawing straight lines to add textures to things very quickly.
Yeah.
It looks nice. I'm not complaining. It's just, it's everywhere.
I didn't notice, and now I gotta... now I'm flipping back.
It does add a lot of detail without you having to actually think of anything that exists.
Yeah.
I guess they do it with buildings outdoors. Like the guy has a box in the bit in with Carol Danvers. Like he has a box with that sort of pattern on it. Maybe it's the visual equivalent of Possenpfeffering or whatever is that term you use.
Puffy faffin.
Puffy faffing.
Yeah, it's visual puffy faffin.
We are absolutely wearing that term out, Pat.
Yeah.
We only invented it like 3 episodes ago, and we've used it 700 times.
Can I recommend you mix in some hibberty-jibberties? I like a hibberty-jibberty myself.
Hibberty-jibberty.
Hibberty-jibberty.
We'll find a place for it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Meanwhile, Peter Rasputin recovers from his injuries while watching War of the Worlds with his little sister Ileana, and Kitty Pryde watches, wrestling with her crush on the boy. She wonders if, along with powers, her mutanthood comes with enhanced emotions because her love for Peter is driving her fucking crazy. Abby, you were talking about this earlier, right? Which is, I think it's really clever of them just not to say like, oh, also she's going through puberty.
Yeah,
I love the
yeah,
way that they kind
it's
of
like no
approach
one
this.
ever gave her the talk.
Yeah.
I guess it kind of feels like she's living under the restriction that within real life, like they can't just have her say like, oh, this is the first time I've thought about having sex.
Right.
Like, but that's clearly
Oh,
what
wow.
she's struggling with, but because she can't verbalize it like that, it's making her even more confused. It's like living in a comics code world has like had an even more disastrous effect on her development.
This raises, I think, a wild question, which is sex education in the itinerary at Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters?
Ooh.
I hope not. I do not want Professor Xavier teaching any of these kids.
Right.
about
Currently the only
sex.
professor.
I feel
Yeah.
like he calls in Beast, and Beast is just like, hey, kids, so here's what you do, all right? It works like this. It's very simple.
That's not a bad theory, actually.
I think there's something interesting here, though, that, like, she is being raised outside of a normal environment to such a degree, right? Where she's commenting here about how dramatic it is living with the X-Men, and how she almost wonders if this is part of being a mutant, is these incredible, like, everybody around her is having these big reactions to everything all the time. Like, everything around her is a soap opera. And is that just part of being a mutant, is that your emotions are all crazy? And again, it is just like Abby's saying, it's just sort of a metaphor for puberty, but it's also
kind of true.
It's also kind of, yeah, like a legitimate question, because everybody around her is crazy all the time.
So what were the circumstances where Colossus died? And I promise I'm going somewhere with this, and this isn't just wasting time.
Well, if you listen to our last episode, he almost died, and then it turned out he was okay.
He was, so while in metal form, he was like splashed with acid,
Cosmic acid,
which weakened the metal on his chest, and then
he was stabbed with an energy javelin.
And then he was stabbed through the chest, through the heart, with an energy javelin.
Can you just imagine, talking about like how the X-Men's life is so dramatic? Can you imagine you're already removed from your parents. You can't ask your parents about sex. And you have this crush on an older coworker. And you don't know what you're doing, and you just, for the first time in your life, you allow yourself to fantasize about the act of love, about making love to this person that you care about deeply. And then the next day you watch him be burned alive in acid and killed by a space javelin.
Holy shit, yeah.
How messed up would you become? I remember when my mom tried to explain the facts of life to me, and I feel like if I was Kitty Pryde and like Professor Xavier sat me down to explain sex to me, I would probably use my incredible X-Men powers to phase through a wall and just leave forever. And then just go away somewhere.
Oops. Yep. We never saw Kitty Pryde again.
Well, meanwhile, Oracle of the Imperial Guard stands over the unconscious Xavier's bed. Remember, he brain died last episode.
Yeah.
Trying to revive him from his psychic shock last episode. Oh, yeah.
Have a little faith in our recappers, Patrick.
As she touches his mind, she senses it's evil and alien and chaotic. Xavier seems trapped in his own mind as something grows within him. He tries to take control of Oracle and use her powers to kill him, but Moira and Storm throw Wolverine between them, using his claws to sever the psychic link.
If two people are thinking about each other really hard, and then somebody puts knives in between those two people, they can't think about each other anymore. Try and think about somebody on the other side of a knife. You can't.
It works. Oracle tells them that Xavier is at war within himself, and they worry that he may not come out of his coma when Kitty appears to tell them that the X-Men are on TV.
Oh, cool.
Neat. Thanks, Kitty.
You can even hear that theme song right now. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
In the other room, they arrive to find an exclusive interview with Senator Robert Kelly about his experience with the X-Men and the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants some months ago. Kelly has concluded that the X-Men are no heroes and that mutants are a threat to the entire world. As he seems poised to try and take legislative action, Moira suddenly remembers Xavier's ties to the government and realizes that there must be files on the X-Men in the federal databank. That damn FBI agent Fred Duncan.
Fred Duncan, or Amos Duncan, as he one time forgot his name was.
I knew you, as soon as he introduced himself as Amos, I knew you couldn't trust him.
If you can't even remember your own name, then yeah, you can't be trusted. I
feel like if my name was Amos, I would go to great lengths to forget that.
But if your name was Fred, would you sometimes forget and think your name was Amos?
Moira advises that they must be destroyed, that the files must be destroyed, to which Kitty suggests an alien computer virus. If only she can get to the computer. What a nerd.
Why does that lady's head look like a Christmas tree?
Lalandra?
Yeah.
Oh, because she's part bird.
That's really bad.
She comes from an avian race, and those are feathers growing out of her head.
I think she should condition. I think conditioner would save her. I'm very sorry.
There's a nice little moment in this scene where Kurt Ruppert, he yells at the television. He's just like me. Likes yelling at the news.
Yeah.
Next, a brief interlude as Cyclops lands in Rio Diablo at the post-grad fuck shack of Alex Summers and Lorna Dane. And surprise, he brought their long-lost father, Corsair.
They've just been studying and fucking out in the desert and I swear it's been multiple deserts, right? Like, I don't think they were always in Rio Diablo, Texas. I thought they were in Arizona at one point.
They were in Utah at one point.
Yeah, they've just been bouncing around different deserts, fucking and studying.
The X-Men always show up and then their shack gets blown up.
Damn it!
You gotta pick up and go somewhere else.
How many deserts do we have to get ourselves lost in for you X-Men to stop finding us?
Also, Cyclops just shows up uninvited with his long-lost father. Says, oh, hey.
What up?
Thank you for having me. By the way, I also brought our father, who we've thought dead for the last 20 years.
Oh, hey, Lorna.
All right, we cut to the Pentagon, where Carol Danvers and Logan arrive in their old military uniforms with Aurora Monroe in tow.
Hey.
After a brief hiccup with the metal detectors, they pass into the halls and Carol just happens to bump into Rogue at the drinking fountain. Rogue? Yes, Rogue. She's stricken with terror and Carol with rage as Rogue tries to flee. Wolverine tackles her but gets thrown into the ceiling and then gets his powers drained through Rogue's patented power-stealing kiss.
Kissing everybody.
Carol, did she really he's got bare places on his skin.
Yeah.
She chooses to kiss him.
Yes. I'm glad that they get rid of that aspect of, it seemed in this era like the only thing Rogue could do to steal your powers was kiss you. And I'm very glad that they stopped doing that somewhere in the 1980s.
I just think there should have been a whole running plot about how this confuses Kitty and gives her feelings she can't deal with and doesn't know.
That storyline might happen with some other characters actually, and Kitty.
Oh boy.
Good.
Can't wait. Carol takes an MP's gun and tries to shoot her, but the bullets just bounce off. Love a superhero with a gun. So Storm sends Rogue skittering down the corridor with a gust of wind and a sheet of ice. Storm whips up a fog, allowing the two X-Men to escape, but Carol blends into the crowd. Or would, if not for Raven Darkholm, aka Mystique, who is in disguise in the crowd as well.
AKA Sherlock Holmes.
AKA Sherlock Holmes. While Storm struggles to find a place to allow Wolverine a rest, Rogue uses Logan's enhanced senses to find them and bursts through a wall on the attack. Before she can issue the coup de grace, though, Nightcrawler pops in and judo throws her across the corridor. Wolverine socks her through a wall and Storm pursues, but Rogue grabs her wrist and steals her weather powers. Unable to control them, though, things get kind of nuts. Storm wraps up Rogue in her cape, and the X-Men pile on her. Wrapping her up in her cape is such a good move.
Yeah.
Rogue still breaks free, but Storm whips up a massive tornado to carry Rogue off into the horizon.
Bye.
Storm gives me real Angel Summoner and the BMX Bandit vibes in this issue. Like, they're just palling around with a god. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, why don't we get Wolverine in to use his knives to? Why don't I just summon a horde of angels to? It's a Mitchell and Webb sketch to be clear, but that's the vibe I'm getting here. Is she's radically overqualified for the position, and I've been in places where like that's my ideal. I just want. I wave a finger, I fix the problem, and then I can just get back to watching my stories on my phone.
That's also like a Final Fantasy thing, right? Where you have like a bunch of guys with swords and sticks and guns, and then one dude who has a power where he can summon like 8 gods in a row. And you're like, why did I do any of the rest of this fight? Why didn't I just do this the whole time?
So is your idea that Professor X keeps Storm around just to be like, you look, I'm power leveling the rest of the X-Men. Could you stick around just in case?
Meanwhile, that's our final meanwhile for this episode.
Yay.
Carol has been attempting to complete the mission pursued by Mystique. Mystique uses the same Nick Fury ploy she did on Spider-Woman, allowing her to get close enough to shoot Carol in the head. Because this is Claremont, though, it just grazes her skull. Don't worry.
Yeah, fucking Claremont loves this. Oh, somebody got shot in the head. Nope, they're fine.
He's pointing a gun at her from shoulder level. They are 3 feet apart.
It just creased her skull, Pat. That's what bullets do to heads.
Carol plays dead long enough to aim a good kick at Mystique and knock her off balance. Mystique tries to morph into Storm to throw Carol off, but Carol is too good and chokeholds her into unconsciousness. While Mystique is taken off by military police with a white face.
Huh.
They forgot to color. I think they just forgot to color her. But I'm sure we could come up with some theories. While Mystique is taken off by military police, Carol makes her way to the federal computer banks and loads Kitty's virus, deleting all references to the X-Men. To cap things off, she pulls up her own files, both Major Carol Danvers and the Avengers Ms. Marvel. Not recognizing herself in either picture, she decides to forge a new path and deletes them both. The end.
Yay!
Next issue, Dracula. It's so funny that it says that at the bottom. Like, it's this really like, it's this really like heartfelt moment about a person like kind of like coming to terms with the way that they've changed and the person they are now versus the person they used to be, especially after having recovered from trauma, right? Like, she was a different human being before her trauma than she is now post-trauma. And is finally like smiling with the picture of her old self behind her. She's learned like I'm accepting myself and who I am now. Next, Dracula.
Whoa.
Don't forget me. Bleh.
I feel like that's a good way to get over a trauma, is to have a new unrelated crisis that you can deal with, such as having your identity expunged from your mind by being kissed by a Southern woman. or Dracula, for example, and then
Bleh.
you can overcome this thing, and then you're like, emotionally, your heart is like, I can get better, I can get through this. I've done worse. I've been through worse.
I've been through worse, and now I can fight the Dracula.
I feel like that kind of, like, I've gone through times in my life where, just like my career, terrible things have happened, and then like I've just come out with like a deranged sense of invincibility, which is probably not the healthy way to come out. Like, I feel like trauma is better. I should have been more traumatized. Because
Nothing to
I
lose.
just I'm smiling through life now, and I'm like, I'm invincible. No one can hurt me. But things can hurt me. I should still look both ways when I cross the street. I don't.
Next, Dracula. Bleh.
Next to Dracula. See, I'll be fine. What's the worst he can do?
God, I love it.
One fun observation from this issue from me: Wolverine uses the verb form of buffalo.
Oh, yeah. That page is great
That's-
because Wolverine in military uniform looks like the hottest butch lesbian I've ever seen.
All right, what do we think, folks? We did a little time traveling here. We met Rogue.
What's
Sherlock
wild
Holmes'
to me?
daughter.
What's wild to me is how much Rogue's appearances thematically tie together, right? You have her first appearance is dealing with the Carol Danvers situation, right? And then I guess her third appearance is Carol Danvers dealing with the Carol Danvers situation, right? Like this felt like 4 issues in a row, kind of. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It was a very cohesive story for Rogue.
I like Rogue, but I feel like the stuff that I have liked about Rogue in like the cartoons and what I vaguely remember from the Solid Snake movies, like they don't seem to have noticed those yet. Like here, she's just kind of a vamp who looks to be about 50 years old, which is like, I don't know, the idea of a 50-year-old Southern woman like forcibly kissing me and making me weak at the knees, like,
Terrifying.
I mean, yeah, you can see what Claremont sees in her, but the the conflict about, I can't be with people, like, doesn't exist yet. I feel like the Brotherhood of Evil, when you're evil, you don't get the luxury of the internal conflict, because
Yeah, you've
I
already
guess,
committed to being evil.
yeah, the story doesn't exist for them.
Yeah, it's amazing what Rogue became, because there's very little interesting about her in these issues. Like, I found her interesting because, like, I like seeing her because I know her personally. She came to my
Oh, is she nice?
No.
She keeps kissing
Totally
people.
full of herself.
Ugh.
Totally full of herself. She just assumes everyone wants to kiss her all the time.
She fought me with the combined strength of all my friends from my party.
So in these first few appearances, it's just like there's so little to her. There's very little internal conflict, and there's very little, like, the fact that Claremont looked at this character, well, I guess who he created.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of other characters he's created and thrown away. The fact that he looked at this character and was like, I see something really interesting and significant in her, is, I think, a testament to his creativity, because I think this seems just like an also-ran villain.
Well, it also seems like Bill Mantlo is the one that planted that seed, right? That there's a goodness and humanity within her.
And he was just trying to communicate that Rom was horny.
Yeah.
That's also fair, but like, this is, whether we like it or not, our first look at her making the righteous decision.
Yeah.
I mean, Claremont did have the foresight to say that the stealing of Carol's powers for good was an accident, right?
Yeah. That's true.
Oh, yeah. Because they don't really bring in that, like, she's taking their personalities inside of her. That's not really there yet, is it? I guess it kind of is with Rom. Oh, and I
Yeah,
guess
it's
she's
more
talking
just
about, like, oh, I get their experience and their...
And she does start calling people bub when she's fighting
That's right.
Oh yeah.
in the military base, and she's got, so so I don't know, it seems almost like, so that's an interesting thing, because if Claremont already knew that she takes their personalities, and he already knew that it was a mistake that she held on too long, then maybe he did intend for her to develop into a hero, right?
Do you think there's another timeline where instead Chris Claremont decided Blob should join the X-Men? And he's just like, hey, bud,
Like,
we should free all the prisoners. And Professor X is like, no, the prison industrial complex is something I'm heavily invested in. It's keeping the school alive, Blob. And Blob's like, that's wrong.
In this era, Professor X does own some prisons, and it's seen as a good thing.
What? That makes me so mad. I am actually really mad now.
well, he does.
It may just be the one prison near Island, which
Pat's
he had.
being a little tongue in cheek here. It's there's a place that he sometimes keeps. So sometimes bad mutants, he'll like. It is a prison, right? But it's not. The writers didn't intend it to be a prison, right? Like, it's like he keeps mutants here to rehabilitate them or save them from some, like,
Or run experiments on them.
Weird
He's also got a
thing that's
prison in his basement.
Okay. This was not. This is Pat's interpretation, though, not the writer's intention. So that all I'm saying is put the I think there's reason to be angry, but put it in context.
I don't need to do that.
I didn't know he went through a period where he was dating alien bird women. Good for him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. One other thing I found interesting about all this, I always knew, I think it's like fairly common knowledge that Rogue started out as a villain. She was part of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants and eventually turns good.
Mm-hmm.
What I didn't realize was that her first appearance, her first mission with the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants was actually against the Avengers. She was taking out Captain America when we first met her.
Yeah.
Also, here's the other thing that clicked for me.
Mm-hmm.
What a good name for this character. I never thought about why she was called Rogue. I knew that name before I knew the word, right? Just associating it with the character. But it makes total sense for her power set.
Yeah.
I'm not making the connection.
I think she should be named Joker.
I'm not making the connection.
What? Because she can do a little bit of everything.
Oh, like the D&D class,
like the D&D rogue, yeah,
where they are sort of a jack of all trades. I see what you're saying. Okay, all right. I guess
that's also
there was an ad for D&D in the first issue she appears in.
Yeah. We hit that on a Pat Steals and Deals in a recent episode, I think.
I was thinking of what's fitting about her being called Rogue more like that she goes rogue from being a villain to become a hero.
Oh.
But we don't know that yet.
She's a bit of a rogue.
All right. Anyway, does anyone have any final thoughts before I ask Pat whether he has a Steals and Deals this episode?
No, I've said all mine.
I got nothing. I've bugged you enough.
All right, then I'm not even going to ask him. I'm just going to...
He's got an eye out for stuff that you could buy out. If you had a time machine that you would like to try out, it's Pat Deals and Steals.
That's right, folks. It's time for Pat Steals and Deals. Today's pretty simple. It says, "Ain't she sweet?" And then it has an absurd picture I'll describe in a moment. And then it says, "Spider-Woman, on sale bi-monthly at 50 cents the copy."
Oh.
Spider-Woman.
Okay.
The comic.
Yeah.
So this is an advertisement. You can go out and buy Spider-Woman, the comic. The reason I picked it out is because of the pose that we see Spider-Woman in here, where somehow her butt and her breasts are both facing us.
That was like an epidemic in the
twists around to
2000s,
punch.
I remember.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Was this the first time they did it?
I'm sure it's not, but this is definitely an early, or this is an especially egregious one because this is not physically possible and they're not doing a good job of covering that fact up.
It is clear. Yeah, she's punching a man in the face, but also showing us both of her breasts while she does it.
Yeah. She's leaving herself open, honestly. And you can see her butt and both hips.
Oh yeah,
This is-
like her back leg is like twisted underneath her like it's broken.
Spatially, it doesn't make sense. And if you want a little extra punch on this was immediately after Carol Danvers gives her speech about how the Avengers let her down. Really in poor taste. But here is your deal, Matt. We know that in 1981, the dollar was worth about $3.50 right now. So if we do that math,
$1.75.
this comes out to $1.75, Matt. You know how much I pay for a comic book these days?
Like $5.25.
At least $5. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
$1.75 for but they were selling them to you bi-monthly, so they're still getting $3.50 out of you.
Well, I think bi-monthly means every other month.
Oh,
Not twice a month.
That's bi-weekly. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So they're getting a quarter of the profit. But even, I'm just saying, like, measured out for inflation today, this doesn't make any sense.
I'm of the opinion that everything in the world should cost $5, including comic books.
And that's fair. I think if I could get a comic book or a whole pizza for $5,
Yeah.
I would say.
Or
all
like
right,
a bulldozer.
These are equal value of entertainment.
Yeah.
Or like a jet plane.
Yeah, or like a gumball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like a new lung.
Yeah. Gumball or a new
Ooh,
lung.
yeah, that's when the benefits really kick in.
Oh man, I only got the one $5 bill. Do I get a new lung or a gumball?
I really thought you were about to suggest that this was all coming out of a gumball machine. Like you just everything comes out of a $5 gachapon.
Oh, I hope I get the lung because I'm really about to be dead here.
I got the dud.
Oh, I got the gum. Oh well.
Core for cancer.
Well, that's Pat Steals and Deals.
He's got an eye out, stuff that you could buy out. If you had a time machine that you would like to try out, it's Pat Deals and Steals.
Well,
Oh.
everybody, thank you so much for listening. Hey, Abby Denton,
Yeah.
thank you for being here.
It was my pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank you for
seriously.
putting up with my silly nonsense.
And thank you for putting up with our silly nonsense.
You're
That doesn't speak for
scholars
both of
and
us.
gentle people.
Thank you.
Where? What would you like to plug? Where can people go to find you and all your stuff?
Well, I've actually finally gotten around to designing a whole landing page for anyone who wants to see my stuff at abbydenton.com. And that can point you to all of
Yes.
my socials, the places you can buy my books and little, you can play my little Christmas video game coming up. It's going to be Christmas time. And I might even fix a couple bugs from the little Christmas game I put out last year. It's called The
Oh.
Blade of Cutie Pants, A Very Cutie Christmas. It's like a demo
This is
for
a
a longer
beautiful
game that
website.
I may never finish. And thank you. I'm very proud of the game. I hope that you enjoy. If you ever would like someone to help design a website, my rates are Chiba is free because I want to make a portfolio of this kind of thing.
Oh.
All right.
I mean, you
another
too.
plug?
I mean, if you're just a random person listening to this podcast, I will probably ask for some money. But Pat, you good people. And I feel guilty for having spent all day making fun of a city I have no beef with. So,
Now that you
I
want
owe
my
you.
business.
Yeah, well, no, I'm saying
she
I'm
did
going
say
to work
free.
for free out of guilt. It's more that I'm trying to buy your forgiveness.
All right. Yeah, I'm open to that.
It's clemency. It's usury. I think this is usury.
All right. Thank you for
Abbyden.com.
I was going to say. Okay, big thank you to wait, no, sorry. If you are on the internet, please follow us on Instagram, join our Discord. There will be comments, or there will be a link in the comments to the show. Rate us, review us, like us, check us out on Instagram at Mutant Menace Pod. Email us to be on Pat's email corner. It's not Pat's email corner. It's mutantmenacepod@gmail.com.
Wow. Email Pat directly. He's trying to cut me out of the thing.
Pat's email corner @gmail.com. Don't
No.
We don't know where that email address
Yeah,
goes.
no. It's mutantmenacepod@gmail.com. And thank you to Krills Wilson for our theme music. Thank you to Julia Selly for the voice of Trish Tilby. Gosh, is there just about anything else we need to tell these people?
I think we should just close it out with the line we say at the end of every episode.
It's morphin' time.
Nope, not that one.
So, just like we say at the end of every episode, you just hit the jackpot, Bean Brain.
That's right, folks. Always remember, my energy analyzer reveals that despite your mutant abilities, you share a common humanity with the other inhabitants of this planet.
Jesus Christ.
Blorf.